Hey, everybody. Listen, happy Monday. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. Listen, for some of us, we was together on the weekend. Y'all tried to hit me up. I was going to do two quick train rides on the weekend. One on Saturday, one on Sunday. And y'all held me down. Y'all held me hostage, okay? But it's okay. I'm here. You know what Monday is? Monday is the recap of RHOA, okay? Real Housewives of Atlanta. So if you're in the building, thanks for being here. If you're in the building, y'all know what y'all got to do. Y'all got to hit that like button. And wait, y'all going to give me a second, guys. This the kid. This the kid. Hello? Hey. I don't remember. Yeah, if not, you can bring it back. All right? All right. Love you. Okay, bye. Oh my God. The kid. 2 weekends, y'all. I got 2 weekends left and he's going to be gone. I'm sorry for that interruption, but the conductor had to take the call, okay? It was the kid. All right. Listen, guys. So this is RHOA. Y'all been cheating me. Y'all cheated me all last week. Y'all cheated me over the weekend. And I hope we can start fresh today. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. The Diva's trying to come here and bring y'all shows, and y'all just play me out on a regular basis. Hit the like button, okay? And listen, guys, also, let me tell you, we are inching. And when I say inching, we're inching. We're coming through. Diva is working the streets, the YouTube streets, okay? Almost at 30K. Can I get a holler out there? Almost at 30K. Share the stream, like the stream, tell your friends why, because all I need is 30 more subscribers and I will be at 30K. Can we get a woo woo? All right, now listen, guys, hit the like button. Don't be hopping on this train for free because I be doing the work. I be putting in the work. Come on, Jonathan, thank you, okay? I be putting in the work. But we come on, holler at your girl. Come on now. We almost at 30K. Come on now. I'm manifesting it, okay? 30K. Okay? We're gonna come through. So let me tell you something. We about to board this train, okay? Thank you, Summer. Thank you, everybody. And y'all know what I need in that chat to board the train, right? I need a what? Thanks, in my opinion. I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It's Monday night. We're in the building, and we're about to recap the Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? We got a boy that was chilling. And when I say chilling, he was in Beyonce mode. And I told him respectfully, don't even call me. Can't be hearing about Beyonce, okay? To the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. Come on now.
In the closet. That's my stuff. Yes. If I bought it, please don't touch. Period, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Listen. Okay. The week was amazing. I had floor seats at both shows. I was on the third row at the Atlanta show. Charlotte was the best show, but we're going to get into that at another day. Y'all come on over to Royer's World, subscribe, and I'm going to drop the video, okay? But you better answer my friend while you on this live, okay?
Oh, come on. We got to answer the kid. Well, I got 2 weekends and he's dumb. He's trying to leave a sister, okay? He's trying to leave a sister.
But I missed y'all so much.
We missed you too. They was asking about you, Roy. I said he had a concert.
I'm
he
sorry.
Fine. He alive. Looking cute, honey. Oh, listen. Roy got money, honey. He had a custom-made outfit. You better ask somebody.
Roy is everything. Roy is everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Money, honey.
You didn't even have to do that. You didn't have to do that.
Roy put Barbie in the box.
Come on, he ain't going to Macy's, Target.
I see his shop with Dr. Heavenly. I see him.
Did you
see him? Got it going on.
Wait, he out there meeting the people from Married to Medicine. Come on now, you better.
All right now, Roy, worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Ooh, we lucky he up there tonight, y'all. We lucky for him to be here, okay?
Exactly.
We privileged. Diva, we privileged.
We privileged, okay? And
welcome back, Roy.
Pose with Dr. Heavenly. You better come on now, come through. You listen, Roy, drop your info in that chat in case the people don't have it. somebody, I'm giving feedback. Just everybody mute yourself, please. Mute yourself, mute yourself, mute yourself. Okay.
Can
But
I say something real quick,
of course,
Diva?
Justin, of course.
I want to congratulate Kandi on her second season of her on her show.
You better come
Kandi
on
and the
now.
Gang. I can't not wait till it premieres. So hallelujah, hallelujah to Kandi.
Well, you better tell them, Dustin.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Raise the roof. Raise the roof.
Kandi can't wait. Come on now. Shout out to Kandi. She got a second season of Kandi and the Gang over there on Bravo.
Raise the roof.
Okay?
Raise the
Raise
roof.
the roof. Oh, shoot now. You better raise the roof for Kandi. Okay.
Diva.
Yes.
You shouldn't be too excited. RHOA is back. That means you're second best to Beyonce.
I didn't hear you. Say that again.
That means you second best to Beyonce.
I already knew.
She already knew. Let me tell y'all something. When I tell y'all I've been working Diva's nerves the past 5 months about this concert. I worked her nerves when I had my surgery because I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it to the concert. And then look, Diva, she told me not to call her. Don't look. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a break. And
he'll call me for that Beyonce concert. Okay. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna let the people know you good.
But listen, if you have not gone to see this show, you will regret it. If you get you $1,000 ticket, a $500 ticket, or a $50 ticket, you need to go see this show, y'all. It's an experience. It's so much love in the room, so much energy, and it's her appreciation tour. She will tell you when you go, this is my appreciation tour for everyone who has supported me through this journey. So it's a show that you don't want to miss, y'all. So definitely try and go catch it.
You know where? Yes. You know where I would love to go earlier?
Where's that?
New York City and go to see Sheree show.
Go see him some Sheree, honey. Okay. We got, now I ain't mad at you. Okay, let's get into this, guys. Let's get into this, okay? So everybody mute their line while I get into it. So we're so glad to have RHOA back in the building. So glad we got
to have you back,
house. Yeah, got full house on the panel. So the panel is on lock. You know how that works, okay? We 10 deep and that's it. The people in the building, they here. We're going to talk about it. Now, let me tell you what I do love. I'm going to love this until the day is long, till these shows go off. I love when they do the little snippets and clippets of the different people with the families, okay? I love when they show that Brooklyn is a star, point blank and period. She's just a freaking cutie pie. I cannot take it, okay? I do see why Kenya wants to have another baby, but girl, you don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say. But Brooklyn is a doll face, okay? An absolute doll face.
Can I ask Steve a question?
Not right now. Give me 1 second, Dustin. Let me just get through this. Okay. So she's a doll face, right? And then they show the little snippet of Kandi and Blaze, okay? And Blaze, swallowing the toothpaste. Blaze is another one. She a little doll face. Kandi was like, you can't swallow the toothpaste. She's like, you little doll face. She's a cutie pie. You know what? The Bravo kids are gorgeous. I'm here for the Bravo kids. And you know what I also love? I also love seeing them grow up. I love seeing Riley grow up. I wish we could see how Riley's doing now. She out there in New York living her best life. What's Todd's daughter's name? I want to see Kayla. We want to see Kayla. Maybe they need to pop in a little bit more. I want to see them, but I like seeing the Bravo kids. So shout out and prayers to the Bravo kids. Now, we heard that Bravo over there exploiting y'all. We're not into that. We're not into the child labor. But see, that's why I can't mess with you right here. But we praying for the Bravo kids. We love the Bravo kids. Okay, we love the Bravo kids. Okay, so let's go on here. Drew and Allison, they doing a mental health retreat. Okay, you know what I did like about Allison? I like the fact that she said, it's not a mental break. It's like a mental mishap that she's going through right now. And I want to say, all jokes aside, I want to say this. I love the fact that her sister was brave enough to come on this TV and share her truth, because that ain't easy to do. It's people that can't even tell their own family members in private. And she's coming and sharing her story. And I know for sure her sharing helped somebody. So shout out to Allison for being brave enough to come on this TV and share her story. So I appreciate Allison for that. So then we got Ross, a scene with Ross, Sanya, and Sanya tells him that she's pregnant. Then she goes and tells the whole family, and then her sister want to rain on Sanya's moment. Now, you know, I'm team her sister. I was understanding her sister and everything that was going on between these two. But what I'm going to need the sister to do is calm down. I just told you I'm pregnant, and now you want to talk about your apartment that you got. I know you moving. Shut up. Right now, let's enjoy my pregnancy. Okay, and that I'm pregnant, and then the mama and I'm moving out too. And Sonya talking about she's going to, get a nanny. Sonya, you don't even have a clue, but I'm rooting for you though, girl, because a nanny is not going to do like your family does, and that nanny ain't going to be there all night long, and you're going to have to shell out a whole heck of a lot of cash for the nanny. So Sonya, get ready, boo, because you're not this is you entering a world that you don't know nothing about. Okay, I would never, I bit my tongue a lot just to keep the village in my corner, because you know what, the village is the reason why I'm chilling right now, and I had a lot of help raising my one. Okay, and listen, shout out to all the moms that have more than one child. God bless y'all. Woo, because I didn't know if I was going to make it with my one without all the help that I had. But God bless y'all. She says she's going to get herself a nanny. Now, I'm Drew and Ralph in this date night. Ralph is problematic. He's a piece of work. And the words that come out of Ralph's mouth, it's just different. Ralph said he want to be like Barack Obama instead of saying that he wanted them to be like Barack and Michelle. And Drew had to tell him on date night, you forget you have a wife. Listen, since the day we met you, Drew and Ralph, he didn't recognize that he had a wife. Okay, he was out there in Tampa, then he's out there in Las Vegas, then he's out there here, there, and everywhere. Ralph doesn't get it, but you know what though? I think Ralph may get it once they are totally separated. He's going to wake up, and I promise you, most people do. He's going to end up regretting that he didn't take his marriage and his wife a little more seriously. So Drew is trying to tell him that, she's booked and busy. And he's like, well, I've always been booked and busy, so I don't know how you about to do this whole movie thing. Pretty much, I don't know where the kid's going to be, because I got things to do. And he said he is not Todd. Okay. He said Todd don't really go nowhere. I'm always out of town. Well, we know that, Ralph, and that's the whole problem. Yeah, the whack date night. Ralph is a problem. And I might as well go ahead and squeeze the other pieces of Ralph into this. When he showed up to the retreat, the little mental health retreat that they did, how you coming in the building and you hugging and kissing everybody and not your wife? That's just petty. And you know what? Nothing's worse than when you got a petty mate. Okay. Ralph is coolest. He's a whole hot mess. Okay. And he doesn't believe in counseling. He said, nah, he done with counseling. Okay. Counseling didn't help him. He's good. So he's done with counseling. But, Drew is continuing her counseling for herself. Thank God. Now, I do wish she got a different counselor, because I think that counselor, he is who he is, but whatever. I ain't going to get on the man. He got his certificate and all that good stuff. And, he's helping people, I guess. Okay. So, she's still in counseling, and pretty much, Ralph, after they had date night, Ralph moved out the room and ain't really had no words for Drew. I'm just over Ralph. Okay. I guess the best thing, I'm gonna stop there. We're gonna continue on, but I want to lump the whole Drew thing together. And I want to say this: what are we gonna tell Drew? How do we help Drew in this Ralph situation? Because this is a lot. It's a lot. And then Sonya, I'm wishing her the best. So I'll go ahead and start with you, Royer. We got Sonya's pregnant and going to need a nanny, and Ralph and Drew. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, let me start off with Kenya and what's her baby's name? Brooklyn.
Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. Queen Tulsa, there is a link, but we're full house. We're booked. We're locked solid. We're 10 deep, and I only have room for 10 on the platform. But there is a link. But go ahead, Roy.
Kenya and Brooklyn. Oh my God, what a doll face. She's so beautiful. As you stated, Diva, I think that's one thing that I really miss about Housewives was actually the reality of the Housewives, you know, seeing the children. And, you know, I will never forget, you know, moments like when Phaedra dropped Prince Aiden off for school for the first time, and they were holding hands, and you know, just those moments that really brought us reality TV. I really miss those. So I'm so glad to see Kenya having her moments with Brooklyn, and she's just teaching Brooklyn to be such a sweet little young lady and just so courteous and kind. So it's really nice. I think that Brooklyn has really softened Kenya, and it's nice to see that softened side of Kenya. I think that she has really changed Kenya for the better in a lot of ways. When it comes to being a woman and being a mother, she has really helped Kenya a lot. Congratulations to Sanya. How she got pregnant and she never sees this man, I will never know. But congratulations, you know, wishing them all the best. To her sister, you know, you had every right to steal her moment because she's always stealing your moments and never letting you have a moment to shine. I mean, she didn't even invite you to the Mommy Nation event, but you want her to do your hair. Become a mama, and then we'll have a conversation. Maybe this will be her opportunity, but no judgment towards the mommies. We love the mommies, okay? And Drew and Ralph, you know, this is just a train wreck that we were waiting to happen. And I just really hate to see this all falling apart like this. I hate that they, you know, had to pick the cameras back up to see this demise really happen. You know, I just really want to wrap my arms around Drew and just put her in my bosom and give her some bosom love because she just needs a good mother Iyama bosom hug. Like you laughing, but I'm being serious. Like she just needs to be hugged and loved, and just she needs to be in the arms of Jesus because she just, I don't know what it is. Like it's just like, it's like Drew don't get it. It's like she don't see it. And then it's like she see it, but then you still stick around with the foolishness. Like, girl, just, I don't know. And then the fact that, you know, Ralph says the little ignorant stuff he's saying, like, you know, he wants to be like Obama. Okay. Well, there is no Obama without Michelle. Okay. You better ask. You better tell somebody. You better tell it. Obama will tell you that. And that's the great saying says, behind every great man is a greater woman, period.
Come on now. You better tell the people. So we're praying for Drew. Leo, what are your thoughts?
I love the relationship between Brooklyn and Kenya because we see in real time a healing that has gone on. I've said this before, that has gone on between Kenya and her mother. The healing is going on between Brooklyn and Kenya. Like her relationship that she had with a mother that did not want her. She loves and adores Brooklyn and protects Brooklyn. So that makes me feel a certain type of way when Mark tried to say, like, you know, Brooklyn is unprotected. Sir, you're not there. Sir, you're not there. So you're not protecting your daughter. So try to make like Kenya is putting Brooklyn in a position that is unsafe is unreal. It's not the truth. It's not what's really going on. Okay, I love that relationship. And as far as Drew, okay, before I get to that, Allison, her sister, I love her story. And I would love, Diva, you could get an interview with her. I would love that because that's the story that the people really want to know behind the scenes. Actually, she is adjacent to very famous people that she had a part to do with their careers. So I would love to hear her story. And as far as Ralph and Drew is concerned,
Mhm.
we are openly seeing a man who does not want to be married to his wife.
Yeah.
Ralph
Ooh.
is over it.
Mm.
Ralph is over it. He is not invested in his relationship.
Mhm.
All the people that I know that are married make a choice to be married every single day.
Yeah.
And he has chosen not to be responsible emotionally and physically to his relationship. And I would even argue financially, because he say he doing so much, but on the look on her face, she's like, what exactly? I mean, you booked and busy, but they're bringing to what? Like, I don't even really understand. Those two people are so far apart
Yeah.
to be married.
Yeah.
They don't even emotionally support each other.
Yeah.
They are not yoked. They are not together.
Mhm.
They are married in name only. And Ralph see his marriage as a joke.
Yeah.
And I am glad that Drew, perhaps, let's hope that she sees she's in a marriage alone. She's in this marriage by herself, and can't no marriage work with one person.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Many people are saying we missed that she hugged Ross first in at the retreat. I didn't miss that. I saw that, but
I saw that.
I don't think it was
I saw that.
intentional. I think like
It
he
wasn't
just happened to
intentional.
be
It
right
was
there. Right. So
right.
she
It was
hugged him,
within
but
the
if
space.
you notice, she was looking at Ralph. Like she said,
Yep.
Ross, and she was looking at Ralph, and she was coming to him next. He's just very petty. He's childish.
He is childish, and she answered. He came in for the hug, and she reciprocated it. But who she wanted to hug first was her husband.
Yeah,
But he wasn't in the space at that time.
right.
And for him not to even be able to see that, and he used that against her to hurt her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm over Ralph. Like, get him off my screen quickly
That
before I say cuss words about Ralph.
Yeah. We're done with him. We're done with him. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Okay, so happy that Brooklyn is learning her karate and kicking butt. She is the cutest. Okay, and Blaze brushing the teeth. Trust me, I know all about it. Got 6 of them. It's a common occurrence for them to try to swallow the toothpaste. Good luck, Kandi. Let's see. And Drew and Ralph. Let me tell you something about Drew and Ralph. Drew has tried so long that I think she's tired of trying.
Yeah.
Because you can only give so much of somebody. And for the people that saying she hugged Ross first, well, Ross was in line first. It would have been uncourteous of her to walk past one of her guests just to walk to her husband that was behind him. He should have been leading Ross in if he wanted to be a real husband. But he was being petty as usual. Let me tell you something. And for him to say he was Barack, I laughed at that TV so hard. I was like, we don't even know what you do for a job. You Tommy. Okay. No. Yeah, it's just petty. So that's all I got.
Yeah, no problem. Radiance.
Hey, panel.
Hey.
Hey, Radiance.
Hey. Hey, Leo. The sister.
Hey, Radiance.
Hey, in my opinion, hey. The sister, Sanya's sister, interrupting her story to tell her about the apartment. Girl, stop. Your news was not bigger than them being pregnant. Let them have that moment, even though you kind of raised Deucey yourself.
Radiance, she was telling her, I'm not going to raise your second one. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay. Deucey. Oh, I love Deucey. Yeah.
And Sanya talking about her mom was slow. She wasn't getting it. No, Sanya, it's because you and Ross was in the wrong order saying we're pregnant.
That part. That part. Messed it all up.
And Sanya's not about to get no nanny. She gonna call her sister from up the street from that apartment to come down and help her with her child. Or in a future season, we're gonna see them move back in. So we'll see how long this lasts.
That would be terrible, Radiance. That would be terrible.
But I
Sonya
feel
need to
that
take
way
care
too.
of
I
her
feel
second parent herself.
the mom
No.
and dad. If it's
That's
not
what's gonna
the
happen.
the mom and dad for sure.
Y'all rooting for the sister, but they're gonna be right back in that house.
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel
Yeah.
that way.
You
I-
do, Diva? You
Oh,
do?
If it's not the sister, definitely the mom. She's not going to do that on
Oh
her.
no, the mom and dad not leaving.
I thought they were. 'cause
Okay,
remember
I
the
can
mom
see
and
it for the
dad
mom
sat
and
there-
dad.
The mom and dad sat there and said, "We're moving in the complex right next to them," or something like that.
Oh,
Mom and dad, I can see, but the sister
saying
is
it.
over it, y'all. The sister is also done.
Yeah, she is. She is. She is. She's tired of being in her shadows, and I think her sister is ready
Yep.
to make her own money. And
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
I
Yeah.
do.
yep.
Wayne, your thoughts?
Well, with what's her name? Brooklyn and what's that girl's name?
Sanya.
Lord. Yeah, Kenya. I think it's kind of selfish for Kenya to want to have a baby at this age, over 50.
Oh my.
You know,
Ooh.
just as well as young men, or little boys need a dad. Little girls need a dad too, so they can teach young women how to navigate, men throughout the world. So I think it's kind of selfish. Look, when she's 20, Kenya gonna be 70 or over 70. That's what I gotta say about that. That's just my personal opinion. As far as Drew and Carl, whatever his name is, I always say when somebody show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. Life is too short. I mean, I'm all for marriage and stuff like that, but who wants to be stuck in a marriage where you're abused?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I say about her. They need to just go on and wrap it up. He's like, he wants to be a kid. He want to run the streets. He want to be out there. He ain't trying to be in no marriage.
No, he not. But what's going to be interesting? I want to see if he's going to have that same fun and how he navigates it when he no longer has a wife. Yeah. So
Well, the old saying, you never miss the water till the well run dry.
That part right there.
And she'd be a damn fool if she leave and then take him back.
Time will tell, right? We waiting on the time. Adele, your thoughts?
Yeah, when it comes to Blaze and Brooklyn, I can't help but think about when before they were here, we were on a journey with these guys, and I feel so happy when we see them like they're their own person now. How happy Kenya is, how that it's like full circle moments in itself. Yeah. I'm really, really happy for them. And like it happens that I really like Kenya and Kandi, but for all of them, that's how I feel. Like even the ones that you may not agree with them as much, when they win, you feel happy because you're like, oh my God, yeah, let's get it, let's do what you do. So for that, it was just one of those moments. When it comes to Sanya, I'm Jamaican and I want to have some attachment to her, but for some reason, I don't know if it's because she's new, it just feels to me like everything is put on. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'm like that for new things, but for me, even with the pregnancy, I wanted to be happy. I'm happy for her, but it just felt like everything was put on. I'm not seeing her authentic self. So it's really hard for me to like, oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, I'm attached to you. But I don't have that yet. Right. And then, yeah. And when it comes now to, what's the next topic?
Drew and Ralph, you're fine.
Drew and Ralph. The Freudian slip that he had is classic because it tells you everything. He went to say Barack and Michelle, but the truth came out. It's Barack and Obama because he wants to be Ralph and Ralph. Yeah. And the truth is, yeah.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying yes. Ralph, you hitting the nail on the head. You are correct. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And someone said it before, I'm not sure who did, is the idea that he may not even be doing anything. He's so busy putting on a show of what he's doing. And all this time behind the scene, it may just be Drew. And his insecurities and all of that is making him want to work overtime to make himself be more essential than he is. Instead of understanding, he had a right to distance himself from Todd, because Todd got it right. He understood, okay, my wife is doing more than me. Let me fill the spaces that she can't fill right now. And now that I'm in a better place where it's time for me, now we need to start changing course. That's what you do in a relationship. You become partners and you work together. And when it comes time, because yeah, we've been working on you, but now let's switch it up. Let's start working on me. It's almost like he reacted in a way like, oh, I don't want to be daddy daycare. Like, what's wrong with that? It's your kids. Like, what do you mean? So that's how it came across with me. And yeah, it's one of those.
Messy.
Yeah.
It's very messy. So messy. E, your thoughts?
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, E.
Hey. I have a question. Are we talking about Brooklyn? No, Kenya with the surrogate eggs too?
You could go ahead and throw that in. I was coming up to that next.
Oh no, I'll leave that off then.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, it was nice to see Kandi teaching Blaze how to brush her teeth. Kenya was teaching who was this? Brooklyn karate. And it's just so sad to see that Sanya spends more time trying to make more babies instead of raising the one she got right now, especially since he's so rambunctious and unruly. Also, we got to see Drew using Allison for a storyline. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, JoJo still doesn't have a father. Did we forget that? Did we forget about that? JoJo still doesn't have a father. And the last nanny that the Pittmans hired for a trial run was giving those kids unsupervised baths for an unpaid amount of $10,000. So sweet black Jesus. Marlo's nephews are off raising themselves while she's playing cupcakes in Hell Kitchen. And Sheree's grandbaby is off with the son's baby mama. No wedding date in sight, just freaking backwards, just like his mama. Okay? Now when it comes to Drew and Ralph, Drew is full of it. Okay, and she is not no Michelle Obama. Let's get that established. Okay, poor thing. Drew totally gaslight the hell out of Ralph until he implodes into the role of the aggressor, and she plays sweet anime bullet the victim. But what she's doing is intentional, and you have to pay attention and you have to watch it, because these two are not strangers. They've been married for almost 9 years. Those two know each other. They're very familiar. And I don't care what that counselor said. Drew is a sociopath too. I'm not saying that Ralph is innocent, but Drew is dishonest and she has no roots planted in nonfiction. She skates by in life, in my opinion, being completely light-skinned with a cute face. And actually, I'd be willing to pay money to see Drew's old report cards from high school. And I would like to talk to some of her old girlfriends from high school, because I'm willing to bet money that Drew was manipulative, dramatic, and a slight touch of remedial back in the day. I'm willing to bet money on that. Drew said her and Ralph are not on a solid foundation. They never were. If you've been married for 8 years, Ralph didn't just wake up one day and change. Just like Drew didn't just wake up and change. The whole 8 years while Josiah's father has been in jail, Ralph never adopted him. And so this boy is calling Ralph dad, but Ralph is not even doing the paperwork to make it official that he's his son. So again, this is piggybacking off of, who's this, Adele. When she said these two have a communication problem. Yes, Ralph and Drew don't speak the same language. And I got $5,000 for you right now. I will send it to you via Cash App. The reason Ralph refuses to adopt Josiah is because Ralph does not agree with the way Drew treats or has treated Josiah's dad. The way Drew and her mama are so quick to write Josiah's dad off and keep pressuring Ralph to adopt that boy, I have to question the credibility of Drew's mom, especially if they also want us to believe that Ralph is a narcissist, he is dishonest, he is a cheater, because you can't have it both ways. If Ralph is all of these negative things, why do you want him to adopt that baby so bad? Like I'm not getting it. And so that mom, she has a credibility issue. She strikes me as very biased and tone deaf. And I also believe this is why Ralph wants to be like Barack and Obama, because Ralph knows Drew is not Michelle and she's not from the pedigree which she presents herself. The Sedoras put me in the same mindset of Tiffany Pollard and Sister Patterson. Those women are shisty. We have to remember Ralph is the same person who got that house and signed for it. Drew wasn't even there for the signing. Okay. Ralph was so great when you wanted this boy from this previous, because that's what I can't get over. You wanted this boy from the previous marriage to model after Ralph, but now you want us to look at him as the scum of the earth. No, either Drew lacks judgment as a mom or she lacks common sense as a woman. You decide.
Woo, 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 woo,
Both. Both.
All I can say is woo, woo, woo. Valid points, like Ace said. Thank you, Ace E, for that. So, Diva, have you seen what Courtney said about Kenya on BTVR? What's that?
Behind the velvet rope.
Oh no, I don't know. That's a podcast. No, I didn't
With
know.
David Yunty. Yeah. It's with David Yunty.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Okay, she spoke
I
highly.
don't believe nothing Courtney say though.
Yeah, and drop T on Drew and Ralph. Now, why would cousin Courtney be over there talking about the cousins?
She said it was fake. She said it was fake story in my ass.
But I have not seen it. Dustin, your thoughts? Dustin, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
I think I agree with everybody about him adopting that kid, because I don't think that he agrees with a lot of the stuff that's going on with that adoption and how they're pushing him like that. And that's all I wanted to say on that part, Diva.
Thank you, Dustin. Okay, Denzel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the scene with Kenya and her daughter Brooklyn, that was a nice scene. Mm-hmm. That was a cute scene. And then Kandi and her daughter Blaze, right? That's her name, Blaze.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a cute scene as well. Uh-huh. Now Drew and her husband, Ralph, that their date, it was a hot mess. And then he's trying to say, first of all, it seems like he's jealous of her success.
Yeah.
And secondly, he's trying to gaslight her, trying to say that that the counseling is messing up their marriage. And it's like, yo, you got to go with counseling to make your marriage work. It's not messing it up. You is messing your marriage up. He's the one that's messing it up. And then, and then he talking about he said he's Barack Obama. Like, really, man? You would never be Barack Obama. Never.
Yeah.
Never, and so and then he talking about, he's booked and busy. Oh yeah, he's booking busy. He's doing something he don't got no business. Yeah, he's doing something. Yeah, he's booked and busy, all right. He's doing something he don't got no business doing. Like man, sit down.
Yeah. Ralph,
that's it, Diva.
Thank you, Denzel.
You're welcome.
So the next scene is Kenya, Kandi, and Shamia. So Shamia makes an appearance, okay? Shamia, they all over there at Kenya's house. Kenya got the food for them. She's talking about how she's building out the salon, which is really nice, okay? And Kenya wants another baby. Okay, so Kenya wants another baby. Shamia's telling her, yeah, just go ahead and do it. And Kandi's like, whoa, hold on. And would you tell, what's his name? Mark, right? Mark Daly. Yeah, Mark, if you're gonna have the baby. And she's like, I don't know, right? Then they talked about how Martel, allegedly gave Sheree her birthday party. She turned 53 this year. And when the bill came for $1,500, he told everybody to cash out their portion. Now, listen, I ain't going to go down this road again. I already told y'all, do not, and I mean do not, and I mean do not invite me to the guest-funded birthday parties because it's a whole hot mess. And especially don't invite me and you're not giving instruction ahead of time because I need to know wherever restaurant you invite me to, do I want to engage with this bill? Because these bills can end up when you got a party. If the restaurant is expensive already, and then you know you got a party of 10 or more, 8 or more, you're already getting a surcharge on that. And then people get the drinking. I maybe have to give up $300-400. You got to make sure I'm prepared for that. And then you expecting a gift too? Wait, what happened? Is this meal, this expensive meal, not your gift that you don't engage me in? But anywho, they was talking about that. And so Kandi made a good point. You ain't invite me. These supposed to be your besties, but they all behind your back talking about how your man wanted them to cash at them for the bill. Now, I thought it was cute. Now, for whatever reason, I'm connected to Gotti, Sheree's dog. He is the biggest, most calming stain. He just seems always so calm. Like he's just so calm. I love Gotti. So they showed a scene with Sheree taking Gotti to get a bath, okay? And Sheree ain't know what she was doing, a whole hot mess. But hey, give it up to Sheree. She needed a scene, and she did it, okay? She took Gotti over there to get a bath and get some snacks, okay? She washed Gotti down. And then that's when Martel called her. And allegedly, Martel gave her some bag or something for her birthday. You know, I just want, Sheree is a nice-looking woman. I want her to have a real relationship. Okay, yeah, cash app. I ain't cash apping nobody. Get out of here. Don't be inviting me to no guest funded birthday party. Okay, that dog needs a big job application. He's a cutie pie. I love Gotti. Okay, hashtag love Gotti. I love Gotti. Okay, so yeah, so Martel allegedly gave her a pocketbook. Come on now, exactly with Martel, and you know didn't want to pay for the birthday dinner. Martel, aka Cash App, aka Zelle, aka Western Union. He didn't care. He was like, give me the money, period, point blank. Okay. So then they do Todd's movie. It's the table read. Now, see, I know all the people that just want to be like this to Kandi, beat her with a stick, but you better give it up to Tandy and Todd because guess who they employed in this movie? Monyetta got a part. Shamia got a part. And even though Drew started all of that mess over Kissgate, Drew was still in the movie. So they done employed about 4 people on the show in Todd's movie, okay? So come on now to Kandi and Todd, you know, and Todd was in the confessional. Shout out to Todd. You know, he made another confessional there. He was in the confessional and he's doing his own movie and he need his movie to pop. Now, wherever this movie, whatever platform it's on, let's support the past because that's what this movie is called. Whenever it comes out, we're all going to check out the past and see if we like it. So shout out to Kandi and Todd. They got the movie, The Past. Shout out to Kandi and Todd. They done employed 4 people from the cast in the movie. Monyetta, Drew, Shamia, and whoever else, okay? So shout out to them with the movie. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk and add the retreat to this situation, right? Yeah, am I going to add the retreat? Yeah, I'm going to add the retreat to this situation, right? So the retreat, you know, shout out already said to Allison, the sister, for even sharing her story, okay? Told us how she had to go into the mental health hospital because she had a breakdown. And listen, anybody that's been through a breakup, sometimes you do feel like, oh my God, heartbreak is a beast and it can take some people out. So a shout out to her for explaining her story and saying, listen, I done called the EMS and the police so much when I was going through my panic attacks and all that finally they just had to admit me into the hospital. But it helped her. She got on the other side and she's willing to talk about it. So as they was planning it, you know, Drew thought she would want to bring the alcohol and they like, whoa, calm down. We need to bring healthy drinks, okay? So when what's the name? Kenya came in, she said no to the healthy drink. Okay, but everybody was there. I appreciate everybody was there. And they had a moment where they did drop it with Drew. Okay, they did a little drop it with Drew moment, and everybody was sweaty because when they got into the meditation room, Marla was like, I can't even close my eyes. I can't take it because somebody in this room stinks. Okay, but I give it up to Kandi. Kandi got really vulnerable in the meditation room because she cried, because she got a lot on her back. Okay, blood pressure high. Y'all running her blood pressure high, all y'all out there. Because y'all want to get on, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. They didn't find it. See, all right. See, I was trying to leave that alone now. Can somebody Google right now, see if they can find the Drop It With Drew page? Is the Drop It With Drew page up now? Because when Marla went to look for it, she could not find it. It did say 404 not found. Okay. So, we did Drop It With Drew. We did a meditation, and, Kandi shedded some tears with that. Right. And then, they talked about, they asked, now why are you asking these people about the court? Now, Drew was saying they wasn't sued for $1,000, they were sued for $10,000. This whole court thing is a whole hot mess. But the men, I like the men, the conversation the men have with RHOA, they was like, listen, you got to just stop letting randoms in your house. Y'all got to get it together. They said, no shade, we're just trying to help you. Now, at the dinner, they talked about how the group is split. And Cynthia Bailey was in the building too. Don't do that, boy. Cynthia Kandi always crying. Don't do that. I ain't playing with you right now. Okay. I ain't doing that with y'all. Don't talk about Todd ain't supporting SAG. Come on, y'all. Don't do that. This man got his big break, and now SAG is striking. You got cut Todd a break now. Cut Todd a break. So after dinner, they were sitting down. They had the nice little dinner. I was wondering why the men didn't get to eat, though. Did the men have a separate dinner table? I thought that was a little messy that the men wasn't at the dinner table. But I guess maybe they slid the men some food in another room. So the ladies are all at dinner. Cynthia's there. And Cynthia, asked Kandi, would you have just appreciated an invite to Sheree's birthday party so you can actually get to say that you couldn't go instead of not getting the invite at all? Because Sheree tried to shade Kandi and said, well, Kandi doesn't even show up for the group. Why would she show up for my party? Okay, that was messy. Cousin Courtney allegedly called Drew a bitch. Well, cousin Courtney said, no, she did not. I think Monietta, she's trying to be a bone collector, but Monietta can't even carry no bones. I think every time Monietta comes back with her collection of bones, she done mix them up and she never gets the story straight. Okay. And so that now when Sanya, she announced to the group that she was pregnant, it looked like Monietta was crying. Y'all go back and look at that scene. I felt okay. Daphne said the website is up. Okay, holla. Shout out to Drop It With Drew. The website is up. Okay, Drop It With Drew is up in case anybody wants to drop it with Drew. Now, Monietta, when Sanya announced her pregnancy and they all did a group hug, check out Monietta's face. She was crying. I felt like, she was crying. Wasn't she, Brown Eyes? I felt like Monietta was crying because of that darn what's her baby daddy name? His name is slipping my mind right now. Neo. He's a mess. I felt like Monietta was crying because of Neo. She done tied the tubes, and now with her new husband, even if she wanted to have another baby, she can't. I felt like that's where Monietta tears was coming from, because Monietta was crying. I said, ooh, yeah. That darn Neo, we find them we're gonna have to slap Neo just for Monietta, okay? Yeah, she was crying. I sat up in my bed. I said, is Monietta crying in this hug here? She crying over the babies that she can't have because of Neo with her current husband. Neo is messy. But anyway, and then Drew went to counseling. We kind of, that counseling session was that counseling session. And you know what? That's it. Drew, they asked Drew, did she win the case? I know Drew said in 30 days she would know whether she won the case or not. So that's pretty much everything there. We'll go ahead. Roy, what are your thoughts? Are you there?
You could come back to me.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you. So I bounce down to the bottom. Leo, what are your thoughts on those things?
Oh my, I wasn't prepared. Okay, so
I could come back to you.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and get it over with.
Okay.
Look, so I did see Monietta, and I do believe Monietta was crying and praying
Okay.
over Sanya.
Oh,
because
okay.
of her experience of not being able to have children after her experience with her baby daddy.
Yeah.
I mean, how that right there was traumatic. And I think that she is saying, like, I like people who have experienced trauma and still bless others for their blessings and their joy.
I do too. I do too.
So that's what I seen out of Monietta. No, she not good, like she's not good reality TV, but she's a decent human being.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
She's a decent human being.
Yeah.
And I feel that from her. I find Sonya to be dramatic and overly trying to produce moments for TV. I see that all on Sonya. I also see her man is fun. Okay. Rossi is fun. I would have all the babies for Rossi. Okay.
Yeah, he's a nice looking man. They're a nice looking couple. They're nice looking.
They are a very nice looking couple. So I understand her when she was like, my man want me to get pregnant. I might need to get up on that. Okay. I might need to work that out.
Okay.
The thing is, Sonya is getting ready to experience a whole nother phase of motherhood. Cause I can tell with Ducey, they have Ross, including Sanya, have not managed raising Ducey. Cause Ducey is off the chain. And they are really going to have to be hands, even if they get them a nanny may not be a person that's there 24/7. Right. They are going to have to be hands-on to manage this next birth. But congratulations to them. Mm-hmm. And what was the issue before then?
I think that's that. Well, they just after that they just talked about it. You know, it was Sheree with Gotti. I love Gotti.
Oh, Sheree with Gotti and also the collusion with Courtney. I saw that too. And Courtney is, Courtney, I'm not quite sure. Courtney is trying to earn her spot in her place, and she's doing what she need to do that.
Yeah, facts. Now, is she doing a good job though?
I give her a C.
Okay, yeah, I give her a C. I accept that. I like that grade for sure. For sure.
I give her a C.
Cousin Courtney,
she in the people's mouth.
Cousin Courtney gets a C. Yeah.
She in the people's mouth. Yeah. She's not doing it with integrity. She not, because we don't really know Courtney's story. We ain't seen Courtney house. We don't really see her Courtney business. We don't really see what Courtney really do. But Courtney run her mouth, so I give her a C.
Right. Michelle, thank you for the super chat. That's right, everybody. Hit that like button. Yeah, I will give Courtney a C. I think she came out the gate wrong. And I think once you come out the gate wrong, it's a hard way inching yourself back up. But they did show, I think they was trying to show in the flashback that cousin Courtney actually didn't call her a B. It was something that came out of Sanya's mouth as a sentence, but I don't know. Courtney's getting a D for some people. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. All right. But cousin Courtney is cousin Courtney. Denzel, I'm gonna go to you. What are your thoughts on those scenes?
Yeah. That scene with Sheree and her dog, that was a nice little scene. That scene where because I saw that scene the retreat they did. Drew was gonna hug Ralph, but then Ross was there, so she gave him a hug, and then she was gonna hug her husband, but then he just hurt everybody else. And I was like, really, dude? Are you that petty?
Petty.
To hug your wife? Like, really, man? Grow up. Right. And then and you know what? And this is what I want to know. Is Courtney even really Ralph's cousin? Because we never heard of her last season or season 13. Like, Is that her? Is that his cousin really, or is they just fake cousins for this storyline?
We won't know until we know. We're not gonna know until we know. I'm not sure in terms of Courtney, and I don't know. Who knows? And wait, somebody asked, "Did Sheree rent the dog?" No, Gotti's been around. If you go back, Gotti's been around in many
For years, yeah.
for years. And Gotti is just, even when people come over to our house, he's very calm. He's a very calm dog. I never heard him bark. I like Gotti, but go ahead, Denzel.
Yeah, me too. And then, I like how Drew's sister was talking about, her mental health. Like that was real. That was real. And we need to see more realness going on this show and other reality shows. We need to see more real storylines than the fake storylines and the petty drama. We need to see more of that. And then give it up to Kandi and her husband Todd. They giving people jobs.
Yeah.
It was good it was good. It's good that Moyetta is in, the movie, Shamia and Drew. That's going to be good. And when it comes out, I will support it. And what else? What was the other scenes?
That was pretty much it, because everything else.
Okay.
You know.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah. And then with Kenya, I get that she wants to have another child, but she should not, and this is my opinion, she shouldn't have another child with Mark, because he seems like a jerk. He seems like he's not a good person. So I don't think she should have another child with Mark. She needs to probably get a surrogate or adopt. And it was good to see Shamia and with Kandi. Sheree, she was wrong for not inviting Kandi to her birthday party, because you know what? Sheree, she did that to Nene she did the exact same thing to Nene for season 1. So like Sheree, go sit down. And then that lawsuit, yeah, what is it, $10,000 or is it $1,000? Like which one is it? Yeah, which one is it? And, yeah, which one is it? And then one more thing, Diva. Did you watch the after show? Did you watch the after show? Because Sanya and Sheree, they got into it.
I saw
about that was a mess. I'm glad that she called out Sheree. That was a mess. That was a mess.
This is my opinion on when you're doing stuff like that. So number one is, right, if you call me and say, coming to you, do you want to come to my birthday dinner? Not just to dinner, you saying your birthday dinner. So I'm bringing a gift and I'm thinking it's your birthday. You hosting this thing. You paying for everybody's dinner. It's a birthday dinner party. You paying for it, and I'm coming. I'm gonna bring my gift and I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna go home. I do not, and I don't go to guest funded birthday parties, because then how does that work? I'm supposed to bring you a gift and then I'm paying also, and I don't even know. I don't have no idea how much I'm going to pay. To me,
they didn't bring a gift though, Diva.
But it don't even matter if you didn't bring a gift. You don't put people in a position where they have no clue until the end of the night how much they're going to be responsible for.
Exactly, Diva. Exactly.
Not right. You can't bring somebody. You counting somebody's pockets, and that's not right. So at the end of the night, after people have did their drinks or whatever, and usually with restaurants, once the party is over a certain amount, they automatically some of them put a surcharge and they automatically put the gratuity in there also. So you could potentially be asking one person from anywhere from $150 to $200 because they sat down and had dinner on your birthday. To me, you should not put anybody in that position unless you tell them ahead of time. Meet me at the restaurant. It's my birthday. Everybody gonna pay for their own meal in my meal. Where are we doing that at? So now I don't know if I need $100? Do I need $200? Do I need $300? I'm not putting nobody in that position. I'm not.
Can I say one more thing, Diva? It's gonna be very quickly. And that's another thing. Sheree shouldn't be talking about nobody's man. Her fake relationship, her fake man. He don't got the money to pay for on the dinner. Like, how trifling. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
But that's it.
Right. And then you talk about y'all didn't bring a gift. First of all, you did an impromptu thing. You did it random. It was last minute. It was a last minute thought. It's a lot. And then that Noble, because it's one of those in restaurants, so it's going to be pricey off the bat. Did I went to Dustin already? Adele, did I come to you?
No.
Go ahead.
No. Okay. So with Kenya, actually, with the meetup with Kenya, Shamia, and Kandi, it was really good to see Shamia and Kandi. And Kenya have that almost comfortable relationship together. I was like, whoa, they seem pretty good together. So that was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
That they were able to sit and talk about, things that was comfortable. I think that's what's missing from the show. This was a group of girls that was together, and you could see that they're for each other and support each other, and that's one of the big things I think is missing. The bill thing, I'm one of those people that's behind that. I think that the boyfriend should have picked it up, but that's just me. Not everyone thinks that way.
Well, that's how I am too.
Yeah. So, and especially like you said, something similar to that, but also add let me know exactly what it's going to be, and then I can decide, okay, it can't be more than 500. I have 500. Let me go. The last thing you want is someone to come there and be embarrassed, and all they're trying to do is come out and celebrate with you. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Sonya, again, I am trying to kind of click with her, but it's not working yet. So let's see how that goes. When it comes to Kandi, I'm frustrated with this because I do like Kandi. I'm not liking Kandi just to like Kandi. I like Kandi because I like who she is and what she represents. Is she a perfect person? No. What I noticed with her, she constantly, from where she is at as a person, she's constantly looking out for other people. She's not saying it's all me or nothing. If you have something that you need help with, she'll help you, from who she is and what she's about. Out of everybody on that show, she's the one that I see that helped the most people. There's people that's not helping with anything, but all of a sudden, Kandi's the bad guy. Kandi's the one that it doesn't like Black people. Kandi's, and everybody around her that she employs, that she's invested with, is Black, but she doesn't like Black people. She doesn't do anything for Black people. Look, open your eyes, my friend. Spiritually, figuratively, whatever tively you want to put, it frustrates me how people want to cancel her and say all these things, do all these things, even to the point, it reminds me of a bad relationship. We're in a relationship, you want to break up and you want to go, but not only do you want to break up with me, you want me to be done. You don't want me to be anywhere. You don't want anybody else to, because I'm going to hang around until you're done before I can decide I'm going to move on. You don't want to see me move on. Let me move. Let whoever wants to be around me and be happy with me. Oh, no. Cancel, and then I can move on. I'm going to keep on coming and peeking just to see if you're doing good or bad. And if you're doing good, oh, no, it must be this reason. Oh, it's because you want this. Oh, Bravo, give you a next season. Oh, it must be because you said Andy wasn't racist. It couldn't be because I don't have an experience with Randy, with him being racist. It has to be that he's giving me this because of what I said. And all of this is just I'm trying to say it from a perspective of how come Kim can get away with certain things. Bethany, because her show got canceled, she can get away with it. Oh, it's Bethany being Bethany. But Kandi, everything has to fall on her head. Sometimes I'm like this. Like, it's almost like, can we see the truth or no?
Mm-hmm.
I was just hating on her. And I know sometimes when people are called to do certain great things, the hate comes to their door sometimes for no reason. Like, because that sometimes I look at it, I'm like, can you see that? And I'm going to use Nene for example, because I love Nene also. I love all the girls in their own ways.
Right.
The things I've seen Kandi done, Nene has done not even half. But for some reason, no one brings that up.
Mm-hmm.
No one brings that up. And I hate to have to use her as an example. I'm just using anyone. I could have picked any one of the girls. But It's just the idea that it's like, allow each person to be. Like, it doesn't have to be this person against that person. If I'm looking out for myself in this area, it doesn't have to be because I'm against this person. That's why I'm looking out for myself in this area. It's always been that way until it changed. And we're at a place where we're saying, okay, this is what's going to be. Then expect something from me. Right. That being said, I'm looking. I can't believe how happy I was to see Cynthia. Even her. I
feel that way.
Like, oh my God, it felt so nice to just hear her voice and her movement and all of that. It was like, can you guys bring her back, please? Because she was the most lively one in the diary moment, I thought.
Right.
I really, really liked it. Yeah.
Very nostalgic. It was nice
because I'm just like, I'm getting to a point right now where I'm like, I feel so frustrated because I just feel like it's enough of coming down on one person. And in my book, for no reason. Like, and I want to say no reason, not out of perfection, because we're all imperfect. We're all trying. We're all coming from a place of imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
Being considered, why? That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. Everybody hit that like button. Thank you, Sheila. Okay, we got 329 in the building, only 179 likes. Hit the like button. Wayne, what are your thoughts?
Actually, last night was the first time I watched it in years, other than just the segments that come on, because you kind of keep up. And I see why I haven't watched it in years. I kind of agree with Nikki. It just seemed like they all staged, like they were forcing themselves to act. You know, like the little scenes. It just seemed like it was acting. And with Martel, I mean, what Sheree should have done is she wanted to party. She should have done some grocery shopping or had somebody do some grocery shopping, got some food, invited them all over the house.
That part.
You know, because I'm quite sure all of them, with the money they're making on their show, I'm quite sure they probably thought, oh, well, Martel got it. He's inviting them, you know. I was, because that's probably, to me, it would seem like a lot of money for them, for people of that status, because you think they have money. So I would have just like, oh, that was nice. They're inviting us out. But I'm like, you know, to get someplace and to find out it costs this much money, I would have walked out. I know I would have, because I went to New York with my cousin and some friends, and they went to this place in New York called Tavern on the Green. Oh, it's real popular. I said, well, okay, I went in there. When I looked at that menu, for the little bit of food for breakfast, I told my cousin, I said, no, I got to go. No, don't go. You're going to embarrass me. I said, I'm not paying this money. She said, I'll pay it. I said, well, okay. I said, you don't have to, because I'm not paying, I'm not paying this. But anyways, I would have done that. But I thought that was kind of tacky to invite people, and was even worse to say, and you didn't bring a gift. This thing, from what they were saying, was at the last minute. I mean, it wasn't like a lot of time to do anything.
Right.
You know, but like some kid, you want a gift? Oh, that's crazy. Other thing with Drew.
And when, let me just say this, and when you do have guest funded birthday parties, that's your gift. That's your gift. The $200 I dropped, the $300 I dropped, that's your gift, sweetie. Happy birthday. Because to me, you just, I don't know, it's just a no-no to me, and I think it's tacky. Then she wanted to talk about all the other parties that she threw, and how fabulous they were and how she fed everybody. Girl, let's do one thing at a time. We're talking about today, right here, right now, this dinner, and you blacking out because we talking about why your man didn't pick up the tab. But go ahead.
And with Drew, I think you'll see some changes with Drew, you know, by her working on this movie. Because Drew is in her real element. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when they was giving her a part, you know, I mean, she really went into it. I mean, it's almost like, oh, I got an opportunity to do some real acting. When she was saying her line, I think like with Kandi, and she was, you know, reading the script, and I can see she's really into it. So I think that's going to kind of mold her. It's like this, giving her something real to do than to make up a storyline.
Absolutely.
You know, to make up something. And that's what it all seems like. It's like, I mean, before when I used to watch it, it wasn't an effort for anybody to try to make up something, whether, because it just seemed authentic. Even though they fought like cats and dogs, but it seemed authentic. Right now, it just doesn't. It's like it's missing something, you know.
It is. It's missing the authentic. It's not authentic. I'm trying to get the word out, but it's not authentic. And I will say this too. So every year, my book club, we do a couple events like in the year, but ahead of time, I always say, this is a restaurant we're planning to go to, give everybody a chance to look and make sure that, you know, y'all okay with this. But I always pick a middle ground. I'm not going to pick no restaurant that's up here. You know, you got to be mindful of everybody's pockets when you're doing certain things, especially when everybody's going to pay for themselves. You gotta be mindful of that. You can't pick the highest end restaurant, and Noble is high. All of these reality shows, they talk about Noble, even on TMZ. What was that one plastic surgeon? I forgot the name, from Botch. Yeah, him and his wife was at Noble when he, you know, had like a mini stroke or something. Yeah, that restaurant is very, very popular, aka expensive, right? And actually,
Sheree knew her birthday was coming a year ago.
That part. Well, boom. Let's finish. That's it. Radiance, your thoughts?
Hey, Nikki G. Hey, E. I didn't recognize your new picture. Sorry.
Hey, boo. Hey.
And Kenya, I like the conversation I had with Kenya about her wanting to have another baby. Of course, Kandi has the same reservations we all have, which is Mark is already an absent father. Why you want him to be two?
Right.
And I know she's rushing because of her age and she want to use her other embryos, and she can do it legally. So I feel like she's gonna do it just like Shamia said. Yeah. And for the retreat, I don't think working out and meditation work together.
Right.
Maybe they should not dropped it with Drew, so the smell wouldn't drop in Marlo's nose, and she would have been able to concentrate.
Yeah. I agree. Mm-hmm.
I like Monietta, but she's flipping these stories, trying to create more beefs, and it's just not working out.
Facts.
She's not ideal for this type of reality TV, but maybe scripted TV that Kandi has provided her with that opportunity, maybe that would work better, and we would like Monietta in that fashion.
I agree.
No,
I said I agree with you. You know who's living their best life doing TV now? Eva.
Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
She's slaying it down over there. What's that show? The Queen's Man, the King.
Yeah.
She's slaying it down. So yes, Eva is in her element now, doing the darn thing, making her money. But go ahead. I'm sorry, but yes, I agree with you.
Yes. And Sanya learned her lesson when she presented they're pregnant again. She told her friend she learned her lesson. She put in the right spelling, put it in the correct order. She said, we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to put on one t-shirt because homegirl couldn't get it right the first time.
She could not. Poor
thing. So Sheree doesn't pay bills. And now we know Martel doesn't pay bills either. And you didn't invite Kandi, but Kandi apparently is the only one that could afford the bill by herself.
Come on now, you gotta talk.
And I don't feel sorry for Sheree. I think she was a sorry excuse for a wife. So I feel like her ex-husband, he had enough sense to get away from her. I feel like Sheree is lazy. I mean, Sheree needs to be celebrated for each task that she complete like she's a dog. So girl, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Paige? This is the part I struggle with too with Kenya. But I also do feel like she is going to go ahead and do this thing. I just really feel that way. But what's sad is she's bringing another child into the world with an already absentee father. She knows firsthand how painful it is to have an absentee parent. I agree with you. I mean, you know, I there are some people that only want one child, but there are many people that want at least two. You know, myself included, but I wasn't going to do it by any means necessary. You just got to let that go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the next life, but because it's a lot. But it's not just about you. It got to be about, you know, the kids too. Why bring a child on purpose knowing that the father don't want to have anything to do with them? Now, if it just happens to end up that way, you know, it happened to end up that way. But for you to want to do it on purpose is just crazy to me.
Diva, I also thought when she said it was about wanting to make sure that when she's gone, because she knows she won't be around for a long time with her, that she has someone with her. That Brooklyn has someone. They have each other.
I do listen. I get that, but I get it. But Brooklyn gonna have to have some besties. There's a lot of only children out in the world that they find a way, they survive. And maybe when they have their family, they start their family early and they have a bunch of kids. E, your thoughts? E, are you there?
Sorry, it's that button fumbling. I'm so sorry. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to start with Sheree because y'all threw me for a loop talking about that scene with Gotti. Excuse me, Sheree was so awkward and unknowing when it came to bathing that dog. It was as if it was her first time doing it, if you ask me. I wouldn't be surprised if she holds that thing down in the driveway and threw him a She by Sheen t-shirt. I'm not buying it.
Listen, Gotti is treated very well. You could tell he's a very calm dog.
He calm because he know his owner ain't worth a damn, if you ask me, allegedly. Now to Kenya. As a fellow Aquarius, I am so disappointed in Kenya's judgment. This just makes absolutely no sense at all. Poor thing. Let me get this straight. So Martin tried to take Kenya's house, get spousal support, and completely embarrassed her down to the cable television. And we're debating about the embryos. Honey, destroy those damn embryos. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Put those embryos in the damn garbage disposal or feed them to the goddamn alligators. Have some damn common sense. Why in the hell would you risk reproducing a child with the same character flaws as the man who is trying to currently destroy your life? It's not like they got this divorce was pending some years ago and they've gotten over it and bygones can be bygones. No, you're in the midst of fighting and you're trying to bring new life from this fight. That makes absolutely no sense. No sense. This man let you tell it, deceived you. He abandoned you. He does not speak to you kindly. He doesn't pay child support. He lives in New York and you live in Georgia. Kenya, what the hell are you doing? This divorce is not even final yet. And you're trying to have another kid by him? Honey, you're giving him an army to help him finish the job of ruining your life after the divorce is final, if it ever gets there. Mark Daly is not the only sperm donor in the United States. We have Nick Cannon, we have Future, and what about this rented boyfriend with this restaurant, RHOA? I mean, nobody's talking about him. This is how I know that relationship is fake. How come Brooklyn is never filming any scenes with Roy's little baby? He has a daughter too. Kenya likes baby so much you want to be a baby sister. Well, she can get her big sister. Where's that baby? How come Kenya and Roy are not talking about having another kid? Clearly, we know from Roy's Instagram, he is very fond of kids. Roy likes kids. And if it looks, Roy and Mark are neck and neck, if you ask me. But really, forget about how the baby looks. I told y'all last week, Brooklyn is too beauty conscious. Forget those damn looks. Think about how that baby will act and treat others, especially if you have a son. It's not about what's on the outside. It's about what's on the inside. No matter if the child is raised solely under the mother, 50% of that child is still the father and his side of the family. I don't care how deep it is, it's still in there. And you don't know how that other 50% will reveal itself as that child grows older. So why Kenya is willing to pay a surrogate up to $50,000 or more just to bring a child in the image of Mark Daly into this world, another child, I guess I should say, so that some unsuspecting woman who is not even born yet can endure the same heartache as Kenya and Brooklyn are enduring right now, because we know Mark is physically and emotionally unavailable to Brooklyn. Kenya, throw those damn embryos away. You need to adopt or go buy some new embryos and save yourself the goddamn heartache. Somebody mentioned Kenya not being able to be available. Well, you know what? Brooklyn doesn't even know her grandparents. Kenya never even met Mark's parents. Let Kenya tell it. Remember that? Kenya never met Mark's parents. She don't know his other children. So that means Brooklyn doesn't know her grandparents, and Brooklyn doesn't know her brothers and sisters. Kenya doesn't even talk to her mom. So the only grandparent that Brooklyn knows of by the telephone is Kenya's father. And that's a sorry relationship. So yes, this whole thing, if something were to happen to Kenya tomorrow, God forbid, I hope she get that baby to Kandi because we know Todd will watch the baby. Do you know what I mean, Diva? Anyways, let me move forward because I took up too much time on that.
No, I do know what you mean. But you know what? Somebody said that, I think what Sanya said that, besties are not a sister. But there are some siblings that don't even get along. And this is true talk. And we've seen it on what's the R&B divas with what was with the Escape and SWV. You got two sisters, and the one sister treated her, Tasha treated Tamika dirty darn near her whole life. So what I'm saying is that, God has a way when you're the only child. Somebody will connect and be close to you. Literally, two of my girlfriends I have, they almost no different than my sisters to me. But and my one girlfriend who is my son's godmother, she done brought so much stuff over here for his dorm, and her daughter is going in her dorm too. Literally, the stuff that she has brought over here for my son. My other girlfriend is the one that purchased my son's microwave and refrigerator. So perfect strangers that are like non-blood related can end up being just as close to you as your family. So I do get, how Kenya wants her to have like a sibling from her. But I think what E is saying, I feel like you hitting the nail on the head, E, is that you don't do this thing by any means necessary. You already know. You see, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. It's like Kenya cares more about Mark than Mark, it appears this way, than Mark ever cared about Kenya. He don't give a crap. I think if something happened to Kenya, he will come snatch Brooklyn up, but not because, in my opinion, that he will want her. He will come snatch her up for all of the financial benefits that will come along with snatching Brooklyn up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, E. Finish.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Drew. So we know Drew lied about kissing LaToya. We know Drew is lying about the $10,000 versus the $1,000 in small claims. Bravo showed it. We know that Drew lied about the indigenous people's costume from the season 12 reunion. And because we know Drew lies so much, you expect me to believe anything she says about Ralph? That makes no sense. I refuse to do that. Mm-hmm. It is asinine. It is asinine. And I don't care what the camera showed us at that mental health expose. What the camera sees through that one lens pales in comparison to being in the room and being able to see everything in front and behind the camera. Yes, Ralph is petty, but so is Drew. And you can't pay me to believe that she didn't see that man there and intentionally went to Ross. You can't pay me to think anything different. And Drew has known Ralph for 10 plus years. Like I said, if she didn't think that he wasn't going to respond in the way that he did, knowing that he's petty, knowing the things they did, the flashback about her not deserving lobster and her deserving a Lunchable. And you want me to believe that she didn't know that Ralph was going to be petty and try to embarrass her in that same moment? I got some beachfront property in Idaho I want to sell you because you got to knock it the hell off. Last thing. Sheree in this dinner, I need a moment. Why is Sheree lying so goddamn much? Why is she trying to act like she doesn't know all the labels and all the designers and shop for all the shoes and handbags? This was Sheree's dream, to be in the upper echelon and have all the nice things. As much as she bought clothes and wore them one time and returned them back to Neiman Marcus, let Kim Zodiac tell it, I cannot believe that Sheree is not into designers, but because that's Sheree. Mm-hmm. Plus, I still remember Sheree's mugshot for none other than what? Stealing. Okay. Petty theft. Hashtag petty theft. Sheree has been a label slut for quite some time now, and her love language is gifts. So to act like Martel not buying her high-end gifts is not a deal breaker when Sheree is such a transactional woman, that's complete bull. She twisted her mouth in that confessional to the side the same way she did when she told Andy spring and summer for the joggers that came out 2 years later. Okay, we saw it 2 springs and 2 summers later, and a winter and 2 falls. So she said he bought her an Alexander McQueen bag. Did he now? Did he? But then 20 seconds later, she says he doesn't buy high-end items. Excuse me.
That part.
$3,000 is a high-end bag, if you ask me. And I only have one high-end bag that cost me. Well, it wasn't $3,000, but it's cousins to it. They're fraternal twins. So me personally, I can't imagine Martel spending that kind of money because Martel is not bringing in that kind of money. Martel doesn't have that kind of money. I'm hearing some static. Is everybody else hearing that too?
Yeah, I'm hearing it. I think, is it coming from you?
Let me try it again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds better now.
I don't know what that was, but Martel is not bringing in that kind of money. He has 5 kids by 2 different women. He ain't never bought Ariana or Alexander McQueen or Mel. Or his mother.
How about this? He's not the type that will buy a bag like that, but then ask people to cash app him for the dinner.
And that was my last point, Diva, because I'm looking at any man of mine with a side eye who is going to ask my friends to cash app him for coming to my surprise birthday party that he threw for me. This situationship between these two, this will not last long because neither Martel nor Sheree are good with money. They're not ambitious. And neither of them lie very well. They're both stupid, inarticulate, and they're not worth watching. The only reason Martel would even invite the RHOA girls, knowing the other housewives don't like him, or Sheree for that much, is because he wanted to be seen. He wanted full press and promotion, and he wanted everybody to be talking about it. Because if he really gave a damn about Sheree's birthday and he wanted it to be sentimental, he would have done it in private, especially because he didn't have the money. So we know this was all for show because that's what him and Sheree both have in common. They like to put on a show. Don't bring Sheree back next season. I don't want to see Sheree. I don't want to see her back.
Ooh, well, they might be bringing her back because she's sitting right next to Andy. But anywho, in my opinion, your thoughts?
Let's give it up to Gotti. He was the best one in that picture. I don't need Sheree to stop messing with their face, okay? Because their face card finna decline in a minute. Let's see. I don't even know where to go next. Drew and let me tell you something. Drew and Ralph, I am so tired of this. I'm so glad that they at the end of their divorce because they need to go ahead and call it a wrap. Cut that string. You know, they really need some self-healing, some self-hope. Um, and I'm gonna need Drew to get her some seriously counseling. Now she went through this counselor. Hopefully she'll find a better counselor that can take her the rest of the way she need to go. Kenya, I am proud that in the moment now in real time, Kenya has rethought her plans and she's not gonna do the babies with Mark. Bravo to her. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was a bad idea for her to think that she could have another child with Mark. I'm glad she didn't came to her senses. Bravo to her. I know she wants a daughter, son, really bad for Brooklyn to play with, but Brooklyn is gonna be just fine. She don't need no playmate. She can get some friends to play with them. I just wish these girls would learn how to love themselves. It feels like nobody has enough self worth for themselves because Sheree, if you think Martel can afford to wine and dine you, he can't. He can barely keep the lights on in his house in Alabama. Okay, he can't. Um, and if y'all think we believe in this fake relationship, we not. Okay, like I don't care how many times they talk on the phone or how many times they show a picture of them. They look so discombobulated in those pictures and stuff. It just doesn't look authentic or real. And I wish they stopped trying to play in our face like we dummies. We see right through you. We knew it the minute you told us.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Nikki.
Oh, I didn't know she was there. Okay. Where should I start? I guess I'll start with Kandi. I don't know. Well, I want to address what Adele was saying earlier about like she doesn't understand why people are constantly attacking Kandi. And I just would say, Adele, I think people attack people at their level, or I'm sorry, that are above their level because they're not there yet and they can't understand why they're not. So I think that's why it's sort of like, you work as an employee and you can always figure out and tell the boss what you think they should be doing differently and whatnot. It's kind of like that. It's like that type of mindset. So I think that's why she gets all the hate. But I will say this though. I feel like Kandi is giving me, I have to give her the side eye, and I like Kandi, but I feel like I gave her the side eye whenever, everybody's supposedly striking, or what is it that they're doing? They were saying that something about the housewives are basically saying that they did know that there was racism or whatever. They were giving credence to whatever Nene is saying. Bravo did. And I didn't like it when Candy's just kind of like, well, no, I don't think he's racist or something like that. I don't know how you can say that if he just hasn't been racist to you. You know what I mean? Like so to me, I'm giving her the side eye, especially if you are on some sort of, I don't know, text message chain agreeing that the network is doing certain things. So, but we'll see, I guess. Long term, we'll see what happens.
Let me just ask you this though, Nikki. So it's okay that the others they didn't say, they don't agree, but yet they still work in there.
So I'm gonna just say this.
It's a big difference.
No. What I'm saying is this. I can't make a decision one way or the other because I don't have none of the information. I don't know why Kandi is saying whatever she's saying.
Because she's experienced it, and maybe that's how she feels.
Experienced the racism or whatever Nene's saying?
No, she's experiencing her real time for working for them, and that's how she feels.
No, 100%. I personally feel as though if you know that, I'm just saying if, because I don't know, if you know that you've participated in some sort of, I don't know, written exchange, so whether that's email or text message or whatever else, saying that you agree or that you don't necessarily not agree, then I just say just be quiet. That's all I'm saying. But if she in the message chain that Nene has or alleged information that Nene has is agreeing with them that the network is this or that and whatever else, then that's when I'm saying you probably should just be quiet. Just don't give an opinion at all. Because if you come out and you say, it's sort of like on Potomac, how the whole season for 2 seasons, they were saying there's a colorism. And then when they got to the what is it called? The reunion, and they asked, it's like, well, no, we don't think. And that's what I'm saying. It just kind of, if you kind of put it out there that you feel this particular way, then you're kind of locking yourself into something. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's right or wrong. They right or wrong. I'm just saying, I don't know. It just seems a little side eye to me because I feel like you would be better off saying I never experienced that versus no, they're not racist or no, he's not racist. That's where I think she should go with it. But that's just me. You guys are talking about the gift thing, and I I feel a certain way because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell Sheree does to afford that big house. And it isn't so much even about the rent. I'm like, how much is the lights in her house? But that's another story for another day. I do feel like if you invite someone somewhere, no matter where it is, you should be paying for whatever is going on. So I feel like if he invited her friends to come and celebrate her, he's responsible for the bill. And I also feel like when I was watching it and Sheree, I can't remember if this was the after show or not, but it was Sheree was just basically giving Sonya the business because she kept saying, well, you shouldn't expect your husband shouldn't expect to have to not pay for dinner or something like that. And I just kept thinking to myself, why would you expect if someone why aren't you more angry with the person that supposedly threw you this party and then asked all your friends to pay for it? Like, to me, it's like misdirected anger. It's like she doesn't want to hold him responsible, but you want to hold all the other party goers responsible for paying for something like they did something wrong, or for being mad that they were asked to pay for something rather than say it like that. And then the only other thing I really wanted to say is like with Kenya, I don't know. I feel like on one hand, I don't want to tell someone don't have a baby. Don't do whatever is going to make you happy or you think is going to make you happy, just because you never know what the outcome could be. Her another baby with Mark could be the next president or the president 20 years from now. So it's just kind of like, you just really never know. Plus, she could have another baby, the one that she has with him or whatever. And then somehow, like manna from heaven, find Mr. Right and he treats her right and he loves her kids and it's all good. That's all I'm saying. So that's the only reason I'm like, don't just sell it up the river because of that's what she wants. But I personally think it's less about what Kenya wants. I think Brooklyn is highly involved in her thought process of why she's thinking about doing it. I think she really does want Brooklyn to have a sibling, but it's probably because Brooklyn, like most only children, are like, I want a sister, I want a brother. And so I think that's probably driving that more than anything. The last thing I want to say is I just feel like Drew is just not credible, like in any way. Like I've been watching her for the third season that she's in on here now, something like that. And I wanted to feel sorry for her. I probably did feel sorry for her for the first 2 seasons of how Ralph was treating her. But I just think, oh my God, I don't see anything that she does that's believable. Like everything she does, someone can point out where she's lying or it seems exaggerated. So for instance, whenever she was saying she was being sued and she was acting all emotional, or maybe she was really, really emotional about it, it just seems so like if you living in a, I don't know, $500,000 home, $1,000 is something to you. You know what I mean? And I understand the principle. Oh, well, I don't want my name out there that way, but that shouldn't make you cry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it might make you angry, but you get your attorney to say something like, well, I didn't understand that. So after that, I'm just kind of like, I don't know that I could believe anything she's saying. She did the whole Drop It With Drew thing and it wasn't her. It was some other lady's company. It just all seems like, I don't know, like shadows and mirrors. Nothing's really sticks to the wall to me with her. So I feel like I don't know how I could be friends with someone when nothing that they do seems legit. Because even in Kandi speak on it, I think she like flashed back to when Drew was saying she didn't kiss. Hold on, what did she say? She did kiss a girl. She didn't kiss a girl or something like that. She was just basically doing what the shady production people do, which is flashback you lying and then you saying something completely different now. So I don't know. She's I don't know. I can't trust anything she says, but I do want to see Kandi win, and I don't really understand why everybody hates on her so much. I'm like, go if she's the one winning, go talk to sis. Why you gotta battle her? Like, I don't really get it. I mean, I do get it, but it's just like it's not helpful to your cause to just step on her all the time. That's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki. Mm-hmm. E, did you want to say something else?
Yes, I wanted to piggyback off of what Nikki said because I forgot to mention that I saw that interview, if you want to call it that, of them outside of the courthouse. And I was looking at Drew. She was dressed very nice, but I was more so looking at Allison, when in that scene, and her facial expressions, kind of like when Diva, you said it's very telling when you can see the other person's facial expressions when somebody is pouring out their heart. Allison was not buying Drew's BS. I don't know if you all paid attention to Allison in that scene, but Allison strikes me as a very, you can see what she's thinking on her facial expression, because we've seen Allison be emotional, and Allison was not here for that lawsuit mess that Drew was talking about. I think Drew was putting 20 on 10 because she didn't want to pay $1,000, and whatever that means. But when it comes to this, I did listen. I told you all I'm considering adopting as well, because I want my child to have a sibling. So I'm not being unsympathetic. I know that's Kenya's embryo. However, we're talking about starting all the way over and continuing the daily legacy, because Brooklyn's last name is not Moore, it's Daly. And if Mark is not even in the same state and he's not involved with Brooklyn, why would you even continue this? It seems like a vanity project to me. And I just feel, and this is just me, and I understand I'm going to get some slack for this, but of all the things that Kenya can be concerned about, I mean, I just don't think this is the right avenue. I don't think so. And when we say, well, this could be the next president, well, the way that the future will work, if Kenya doesn't have this baby, that soul will go to somebody else's parents. And we'll still have a president whether Brooklyn has this baby or not. So I don't want anyone to think that this world is going to be in shambles and we won't have a president unless Brooklyn has this. I mean, not Brooklyn. What's his name? Kenya has his baby. Whether Kenya not has his baby, it'll be another George Bush. It'll be another Donald Trump. Maybe Ivanka's son will be president. We won't have a shortage of presidents, believe me.
I was just saying that don't be short-sighted about it, because that person could be somebody great. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Well, I think we have to get back to the true definition of family, right? And listen, as a single mom, not shading nobody, but would I sign up for it on purpose? The answer is heck to the no. Why? Who would do that? Would I tell anybody to sign up for that on purpose? No. Why would you? Why would you? There's so many reasons why you should not. And listen, having that other side of their family in their life is important. I'm gonna come to you, Del. Give me a minute. Having that other side of their family in their life is very important. It is nice when they get to have two sets of grandparents, several aunts, uncles and cousins, and all of that from both sides of the family. And legit, I'm telling you, the village all around, from my family to my son's father's family, it's amazing. And it's an amazing experience for the child. So why on purpose would you bring another child who doesn't get to experience your mother and father? Then maybe your father, because I'm talking about Kenya, because her father, is alive. But I believe, and something I read, that her and the auntie is not even speaking anymore. Remember, every now and then we used to see the auntie on the show. They're not even speaking. Like, why would you bring another child into the world just to be set up in that particular situation on purpose, just for the sole purpose of saying that your daughter has a sibling by the same father who's currently not participating in her life on a regular basis, the same father, because he's about to do a reality show, he wants Brooklyn, but he wants Brooklyn for the same reason he wanted Kenya, to use her. He wants Brooklyn to be a part of his reality show, because what he does know is that if Brooklyn's on that show, and this is how selfish he is, he'll probably talk Kenya into coming on his show just so he can get the ratings. Nothing to do with how much he loves her, like her, wants to be a father in her life and co-parent nicely with Kenya. He will use Kenya again just to get her to come on his reality show so he can get ratings. He's a user. They say when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Like, what else do we need to believe about him? And so, but I think in life, honestly, a lot of people do this because they want their to have the same father and all of this other nonsense, and then they sign up for a life of hell You knew what your baby daddy was when you had baby number 1, but then you sat there and had baby number 2, 3, and 4. So you got to chalk this up to the game. That's on you now.
Tell it, Diva.
That's on you. You knew this. I mean, I had girlfriends that did it, and when they called me complaining, I said, if something really go down with you, call me. I'm going to be there for you. But I don't want to hear nothing else about your baby daddy, because you knew who he was when you had baby number 1. Then you sat there and had number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now you got to live with your choices, honey, baby girl. You did that. Congratulate yourself. You knew he wasn't there when you had the first one. You knew he didn't show up to the hospital. And now you're talking about how you feel lonely. Now you lonely with your 4 kids, and he's still playing you like a fool.
That's right.
Then the other girl get pregnant. He all up in the face, baby shower. Come on now, stop. Who does that? Don't do that to yourself. Why? So your kid can have a sibling? I spoke to God. Cover my kid. He ain't got no sibling. What are you going to do? They don't have a sibling by me. I'll say that. But, what are you going to do? But I'm not going to sit there and have another child just because. No, ma'am.
And Brooklyn has siblings. Brooklyn's older brother and sister is 27 and 32, something like that. Brooklyn would be fine.
Yeah, that part. Adele, you want to say something, and after you, I'm going to close out.
Yeah. You remind me of something when she brought up Allison. Out of the whole season, I thought the moment with Allison and her telling her story and the follow-up with this session that they had was one of the most beautiful and authentic thing we've seen on the season. And and honestly, I was just looking at it, and she's a perfect example that mental health does not have a look. And it's like she did speak about the things she went through, that the buildup of it all. But sometimes we think because something happened 20 years ago is no longer in you. And this is proof that, stress and things you go through are accumulation of things. It builds up in your mind, your body, your soul. And when it's ready to explode, the very thing that you think did it was just that you're full. And it was just time, and it just happens. So it's like, be very careful of how things come up on you, because it's an accumulation. And I really appreciate that she was able to come in whatever way she did.
I do too. T-Time, I'm confused about what you're trying to say. That's for poor people? What's for poor people? Having their father in their life? You gotta talk to me more about that. That's for poor people. Kenya kids will be just fine. Why? Because she has money. Nick Cannon has money. And you think these babies that he has, with all these different mothers, they're going to be fine? They're not going to be fine. You know why? Because the mothers aren't even fine. The mothers are in pain, and you can see that by the way they constantly want to post everything like they are fine, balloons and this and that. In the 2 minutes that they do see Nick Cannon, they doing photo shoots with Nick Cannon. They're not fine. They're all in pain. They're all in pain, and they was all in a secret competition to see who was going to trump who by continuing to have babies by Nick Cannon. So I'm not sure what you mean and how you relate, and that's for poor people. I think whether you're poor, rich, or whatever, okay, to have the father in your child's life is worth more than any dollar can ever give.
Right.
Period. Point blank. More than any dollar. And if you ask a kid, and if you thank you, come on, Miss Behavior. And if you ask a kid what they remember most, they're not going to tell you about no bike. That even if they wanted that bike so bad, or the PlayStation, whatever, they want to talk about the times they remember with their parents. And that's why on purpose, and I'm not even talking about it was anywhere extravagant. Every year I took my son on vacation. But to say that's for poor people, I don't get that at all. Kenya's kids will be just fine. Okay, they don't deal with her. So, and okay, they don't deal with her. So please, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah. But that just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, whether you're poor, rich, or you got $1 million, there's plenty of rich people. I'm talking filthy rich, that still they miss their parents.
And as busy as they say Kandi is, Kandi was teaching Blaze how to brush her teeth. You saw how happy Blaze was to have her mom there?
That part. That part. They want time and memories. You better talk to somebody. And you have people that grew up in the most fortunate situations. Some of them were adopted and they are a whole hot mess. Why? Because they just want to know who their birth parents were. And they grew up in a beautiful situation with their adopted parents. And as adults, they're a whole hot mess. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them. Why? Because they just want to know who their birth parents are.
I think she's just saying her struggle or the person's struggle won't be financial. And most people.
That's not what she said. Let's hold on, Nikki. Let's not do a remix. Because I asked her to explain herself. She's still in the chat. Let's not do a remix. Because when you want to say the poor people, that's for poor people, I'm clear on your statement. Let's not do a remix. You try to say, oh, because people said that with Nick Cannon. Oh, it's fine that he had all these kids. He got the money for it. Money does not trump everything. Money does not give people the right emotional state of being in mind. Let me tell you, kids ask for their daddy. They ask for their mommy. And daddy could be sending them sneakers, a bike, or whatever. But they'll be waiting for that moment for dad to come pick them up.
But having no money does the same exact thing.
What? Excuse me?
I'm not agreeing with what the young lady's saying, but I'm saying having no money can do the same exact thing.
No, well, you're missing the point, Nikki. What I'm saying is money or no money, I'm talking about a human being being in their life. I never mentioned anything financial. I said, why would she bring another child into the world knowing that the dad is not even going to participate in the child's life? Where did money come in at? It didn't. I'm talking about a physical human being. I'm telling you, as a result of my child having both grandparents, okay, having both sides of the family in his life, it changed his world tremendously. And I'm saying on purpose. I'm not saying it doesn't happen because it happens every day. Parents die, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Or people leave each other. People don't want to be in the kid's life no more. But on purpose, why would I go lay down with somebody that I know on purpose is not going to be a part of my child's life? Why would you sign up for that? So I'm not misconfusing anything she's saying. I'm very clear on what I said. I said the actual human being being in the child's life is more important than a nickel, dollar, or a dime. And that's why I discourage people who say, oh, because the father didn't pay child support, they can't see their child. What does that money got to do with the father seeing their child? But I don't want to go up past because I was trying to cut down early and I'm about to hit overtime. Emmanuel, you're up because you just came in and I'm closing with you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to come on here and say, I understand Kenya wanting a child, but my thing about it is you're going to willingly deprive your child of a nuclear family for selfish reasons. And it does take a village. And unfortunately, Kenya does not have that village, because if she did, she wouldn't have Brooklyn in that hotel room when they went to Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, come through.
Didn't someone say that the granddaddy didn't see Brooklyn for almost 5 years?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, and a lot of people are saying she's not asking Mark to be there. Well, y'all are missing the point. It's not about that. It's not about money. It's about the presence of a father, and that's what Diva's trying to say, and I totally agree with that.
Yes, Emmanuel,
lots of people have
it's not about from
the mouth of a babe. From the mouth of a babe.
It's a lot of people have their family in their life, both of their parents.
Wait a minute. It's not about Mark because Brooklyn knows Mark is her father. That second baby would know that Mark is their father too, whether or not Kenya tells that, because it's the same embryo, it's the same mother and father. So if you, by not having Mark involved, you're putting this child at a disadvantage, because Brooklyn got to at least meet Mark. The second baby will never meet Mark because Kenya and Mark are never going to be in the same room again.
Except in that courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Virtually.
And my thing is, again, we want to say, oh God, why? And this is beyond Kenya right now. So for those that are taking it personal, because Kenya is the spark to this conversation, for you to on purpose sign up to, like Emmanuel said, not have the nuclear family is just insanity to me. Who will want to do that? Listen, let me tell you something as simple as when that kid has a cold and you being able to roll over or tell somebody, hey, can you go get the cough medicine or the Tylenol or the whatever, and y'all taking shifts or whatever the case may be. I'm talking about when this kid needs to get picked up from school early, this, that, and the other. It's so many things. I'm saying generically, who would sign up for that?
Children are very resilient.
I don't think.
Okay, wait, hold on 1 second, Radiance. T-Time said, how do you know that Mark might not change? Y'all think y'all know the future? Well, I'm not psychic and I don't know the future, but I do know that normally when people show you who they are, you better believe it. Right now, to this moment, he's still trying to cut her throat in court. He's still trying to cut her throat in court. Because of the scene that happened on RHOA when Marla was kicking on the door, y'all better go look it up. He went back to the court and said that Kenya put Brooklyn in danger. Okay, and he wants Brooklyn off the show. He knows that Brooklyn is part of Kenya's storyline, and I'm not talking in a bad way. I'm talking about generically. He knows that that is a part of that is a part of Kenya now on RHOA, and he wants to shut that down. But yet he wants the court to allow Brooklyn to be on his reality show. Yo, he done showed you who he is. So if you want a miracle, if you think you're going to get a miracle out of God, they already showed you who they were, and you're going to get a miracle. All of a sudden, you're going to get pregnant again, and he's going to be like, oh my God, this one is gorgeous. I want you back, or I'm going to come to Georgia more to see both the kids. Kenya, out of her own mouth, said that Mark saw Brooklyn 2 times in 2 years, and he's a FaceTime dad. How do I know he's not going to change? I don't need to be a psychic. I don't need to be Miss Cleo. He already showed us who he was from the moment he met Kenya, and we met him on the TV, him calling her Ken, him disrespecting her up on RHOA. The cameras are rolling, and you can't even play it off like you like the girl. But anyway, Tea Time, you have your thing, and we have our opinion. And
He's trying to take the more manner and put Kenya out on the streets. What do you mean? What do we mean? He might change. If he was going to change, why didn't he get an apartment in Atlanta? What are you talking about? Why is he still in New York if he really wants to be here for this new baby, especially if he's estranged from his older children? Not Brooklyn. Kenya said that, and I think it was on Watch What Happens Live, that Mark did not have a great relationship with his older kids, and she said that Mark begged her to give him a chance to be a great father. He wanted to do things right this time. I can't tell you want to do things right if you've only seen this baby 2 times out of 365 days a year. Mark is full of shit. Oh, excuse me. Mark is full of shit.
But you speaking facts, E. You speaking facts. He's estranged from his adult children. Do I need to know the future, or can I do some math here, put 1 and 1 together and say it's probably going to equal 2?
You can't do that though. You can't.
And also,
because
you can't make such
grow.
big decisions based on hypotheticals. What if he changes? What if that? Like, no, you can't do that.
Come on, Emmanuel.
People grow, Emmanuel. People grow. So there's tons
think,
of people that went to
Nikki,
prison, did something wrong, got out of prison, and now they're living a better life that people said, oh, you should never hang around this person. You should never do this, that, and the third. There's plenty of people that change their lives. So this idea, there's nothing wrong with looking at the facts and saying Mark is clearly a crazy person from my perspective. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with saying it's probably not a great idea for her to have a baby with this person. I'm not arguing that, but this idea that everything is negative is not fair. We're all people, and all of us, including everybody sitting on the panel, everybody in the chat, have done things that someone, I can promise you, is like, oh, why would you be with her? Why would you be with him? Or whatever the case may be. That's who I was 10 years ago. That's who I was 20 years ago. Who I am now is different, or could be different. And no one is saying, at least me, I'm not saying that he would be a good father or that she should select him at all. But I'm saying there has to be some sort of balance. You can't say that people are just one thing. We're multifaceted people, and
But we're
people
not
have the
talking about
ability to
prison.
change, and that's all I'm saying.
Baby, you about
No,
to go in
Nikki,
overtime.
we're not
I know.
talking about prison. We're talking about seeing your kid every night, Nikki. So it's not, you're talking about being multifaceted. I see my kid every night. I put her to bed. And Martin doesn't see his kid every night. And he doesn't put her to bed. He doesn't help her with her homework. Yes, that baby speaks Spanish, but Kenya has to hire tutors. Kenya has to hire people to come in and watch that baby, because even though she has a father, the father can't come down the street and say, oh, you go ahead and watch this baby. I can watch this baby for you while you go filming. We're not talking about him coming in and being a law-abiding citizen. We're talking about him being there for his child. He failed the first two children, and he's failing this child.
But
So
listen,
you have
just
two
for a
failed
second.
marriages under your belt. We're
But
not
listen,
talking about going to prison and redeeming yourself.
I
We're talking
understand
about
that.
being amongst the free world and being there for your children.
I understand that, but hear me out. And I believe we probably all would agree about this. Kenya, without his help, with him being in New York, like you said, all this time, and him only being a FaceTime dad and whatnot, she is executing. Yes, she has help. Like I think Emmanuel was saying, she has nannies or whatever. But if she's executing now without him, that would give her the opinion to think, if I can kill this over here, meaning I'm raising my daughter, she's beautiful, and like everybody says, she's so happy. What makes us think that she can't do it again, regardless of
children is hard to do.
Okay, listen, guys, I'm running in overtime. Hold on, guys. I'm running in overtime. I think Radiance wants to say something else. I really got to close out after Radiance, but I think, Nikki, you're missing our point. There are plenty of single parents that do it every day, all day long. I'm
Exactly.
a single mother over here. All I'm saying is, why would we encourage anyone to do it on purpose? She is doing very well with Brooklyn, but you want to add another one onto that? Why would you do it on purpose? So like Emmanuel said, the nuclear family, why would you on purpose sign up just because you got the money? We can put our kids, if we got the money, in all the private schools, give them all the karate classes, Spanish lessons. They can learn 99,000 languages, but it's still not going to trump that family of mommy and daddy. That's
you don't know what you're going to get until the child is here. God forbid that child be special needs. You don't know how the child is going to come out until the child comes. God forbid.
Right.
And this isn't I was just gonna say, this isn't Diva making it up. Talk to any psychologist, Yale, Harvard, you pick the school, they're all gonna tell you the same thing.
You better talk.
Come on, Gail.
You better talk. You better talk about it. Radiance, what are your final thoughts?
I just wanted to say, I don't think Nikki G is disagreeing with y'all. She's just saying that
I'm not at all. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm not.
That's just what Tea Time had said, and I think it was somebody else that put it in the chat and said that the second child will be fine financially, but the child will struggle emotionally. That's what I think the conversation came from.
Yeah, no.
No, she said she'll be fine.
Hold on one second, because y'all got to do the playback.
They remix it.
Yeah, come on, E. You got to do the playback, because what Tea Time, hold on one second, Dustin. What Tea Time clearly said is that is for poor people. What? What's for poor people? Being part of a single parent home? What was for poor people? That I read the thing exactly and very clearly. And then I asked her, I said, tell me what you're trying to say. And she doubled down on it, or she or the person, Tea Time doubled down on it. So no, I didn't get anywhere confused. And so Nikki, you brought in all of this jail and people being redeemed. So I'm not confused with the conversation. So maybe you needed to explain it a little differently, but the connection that you were trying to make, it was a disconnect, because you start to talk about people in jail. How do we know he's not going to change? And all of this case may be. And all I was clearly saying is no one, whether they're rich, poor, middle class, or whatever, should on purpose sign up to be a single parent. And I don't care if you're a millionaire.
That part.
It just doesn't make any logical sense to do it on purpose, because everybody needs, I believe, whenever possible, the love of both of their parents, because that person is 50-50. They ain't all me. They ain't all their daddy. They got some of me, they got some of their daddy, and they deserve to have both people in their life.
Yeah, that's right.
And I would never encourage anybody in this world to on purpose sign up to be a single parent.
That
And
part, Diva.
I am 100%. I ain't never lied to nobody on this panel. Single mother here. Single mother. But you know what though? His father and his whole family in his life. Okay, his father's no longer living, but that whole side of his family is still in that kid's life. I ain't never blocked, stopped, nothing, because he need all of them people, and he have a right to have all of them in his life. And I personally want to have a whole bunch of kids, but I wasn't about to sign up to have 7 kids and no daddy in there.
Come on, Diva.
What's gonna do it? Now I love y'all, but I got to go because it's overtime. I got to go. Dustin, 2 words, please, because I got to go.
I want to say, since we're talking about single parents here, let's just, I'm going to run in Sheree Shepherd, because Sheree Shepherd has been very open about her being a single parent. She's a single parent. She's been divorced twice. And so if Sheree Shepherd can do it, anybody else can do it too.
I appreciate it.
She makes single baby daddy, but let's move forward.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she don't claim her baby, but
listen.
The Diva train is out of service.
Come on, out of service. Okay? Out of service. Good night, y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for the conversation. Great conversation. See you next time. Bye.
Love you, Diva. Love y'all. Good night.